So I watched Merlin in 2026, and here's how I feel about it. Merlin originally aired in 2008, and I'm just watching it now in 2026 just to feel among. I heard about it first in primary school, and the catchphrase or why it was popular was because Merlin, the main character, wore the same outfit for the whole 5 seasons of like 8 years. So that was what he was known for in my part of the world, basically. Merlin has 5 seasons, and the first thing I noticed was how not explicit the entire thing was. So there was a lot of war in Merlin, and there was no blood or injury at all. You would literally stab someone, and when you draw out your sword, the sword would be clean. That was how unnaturally ungory the whole thing was. In the early seasons, the first 1 to 2 to early 3 seasons, it was just child's play. Basically, the entire plot is that Merlin, the main character, has to help Arthur, which is the prince, and save him from the evil that will come for him, since he is going to be the one to restore magic to Camelot. Magic is currently outlawed by Uther Pendragon, Arthur's father. So he's basically not allowed to tell anyone that he has magic, and he just goes about protecting the prince from, and the kingdom basically, from danger. So nobody knows. To everybody else, he's just a servant, but to himself and Gaius, the person he's staying with, he is the greatest sorcerer and dragon lord in the entire world. So he's helping people out. At the beginning seasons, it's literally just one villain per episode. One villain comes up, they defeat the villain with Merlin secretly doing his magic and all that funny stuff. But at the end of season 3, then season 4 and season 5, it gets serious. Like, main characters start dropping dead. Like Lancelot, Gwen's brother, and Uther Pendragon, even Arthur. So it starts getting serious around season 3, season 4, and season 5. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat was how bad the CGI and VFX was in comparison to the movies that we see nowadays. And it's just crazy because imagine that movie in 2008 and how much of a banger it was. People will be like, oh my goodness, we've never seen anything like it before. So with my 2026 eyes, it's definitely a little funny to me. When I first saw Kilgara the dragon, the laugh that burst out from my mouth, oh my goodness, it was just unholy. But if that is why you're watching the movie, then you're not going to enjoy the movie. At the last battle, season 5, episode 13, when Merlin came out as the older version of himself, and it kind of to Morgana, and then she flies forward instead of backward. Like, what? You see, in physics, I feel like that was just part of the humor. Everything doesn't have to be accurate, child. It's a movie. Even the spells and incantations sound so funny. Sometimes it even begins to sound like Igbo. Imala! Calm down, calm down. My favorite character has to be Gaius because he had such a fatherly nature. He really helped Merlin with his entire magician career and all that. He was just a wholesome character in general. I actually researched about the actor that acted the character, and it turns out he's 89 and has since retired acting. One thing I also don't like is how they waited till the last possible minute to tell Arthur that Merlin had magic. They literally teased it through the entire series that, oh, he may find out that I have magic, he may find out that I have magic. But they waited. It was so nerve-wracking, especially since Arthur would just look down on Merlin as a servant, and they were friends, good and fine, but he would always look, oh, you're lazy, you're this, you're scared, and that. Even though Merlin was the one saving his life all this while. So I hated how they waited to the last possible minute to tell this bro that, bitch, I have magic, I'm stronger than all of you combined, and all that. And when he now finally found out, he was now like, you've been lying to me this whole time, I trusted you. Bitch, your father has been beheading these people since time immemorial, and you are his son. What do you mean? Magic is still outlawed. Why should I have told you? Oh, you betrayed me. Bitch, die. I'm kidding. Lastly, let's talk about Guinevere and her love stories. I feel like they kind of forgot that they were having a relationship type thing with Arthur and Morgana in season 1, even though they are siblings, that we later came to find out in future seasons. And also, Gwen and Merlin had a thing in season 1 too. And then Gwen and Lancelot, I would have preferred Gwen with Lancelot in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like she and Arthur just came out of the blue in the long run. But I feel like they forgot how messy everything was in the beginning and then just brought up Arthur and Gwen. I feel like they did have a good love story, but I would have preferred her with Lancelot, honestly. And Miss Girl was just all over the place. I feel like what went wrong with Merlin season 5 was the writing. First of all, Arthur never got to find out that Gwen didn't actually cheat on him with Lancelot, and it was due to magic. She was under a spell or something. And also, if Arthur was the one that was meant to restore magic to Camelot, why did he die like that? So Merlin spent 8 years of his life protecting this man and he just dies? He just up and dies? What? I hated how it ended so much. Also, how did Aethusa become Morgana's friend and started working with her against Merlin and Camelot? I don't want to talk about it. I definitely see why Merlin was a bang in 2008, and it is still very much relevant in 2026 today. If you can put past the bad CGI and VFX, I feel like it's a very good movie. And I rate it a solid 7.5 out of 10.